Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I have an important breaking news alert for my viewers and subscribers. Keep in mind that up to this point, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wanted a $2.2 trillion stimulus. On the other hand, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell only wanted to do a $333 billion stimulus. I have brand new reporting from senators, from Shelley Moore Capito, who actually told an NBC News correspondent that the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's plan, the $333 billion plan, was a plan B. In other words, it was intended specifically for senators who would, Republican senators, who would balk, who would say no to the $900 billion proposal. Guess what just happened? Guess who now is backing the $900 billion proposal from the Senate bipartisan group, which, by the way, consists of influential senators from both sides, Democrats and Republicans. Are you ready? The two individuals who are now backing the new $900 billion stimulus proposal from the Senate bipartisan group are House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Both of them are now urging Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to essentially use that as a framework for new discussions. Now, before I get into what they said and what their statement was, let's just be realistic here. Let's just be pragmatic here. I think the Democrats understand that, hey, we're not going to get $1.9 trillion. It ain't going to happen. We're not going to get it. So we might as well get something now because the economy needs help. It's as simple as that. They are also gambling on the fact that if the Democrats win both seats in the Georgia Senate runoff races on the 5th of January, at that point, the Democrats, who have a razor-thin majority in the House, by the way, it's the smallest majority they've had in almost 200 years. So it's a very small majority they have in the House. And if they get the majority in the Senate, which will happen if they win both seats in Georgia, and then Kamala Harris, the Vice President Kamala Harris, will be the tiebreaker vote. If they do get that, then they'll probably do an even larger stimulus at that time. But what they're thinking of, what I believe the Democrats are thinking of, is let's do something now. So what are they doing now? A massive shift in the position of House Speaker Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And that shift is as follows. They are now backing the $908 billion bipartisan framework for COVID relief. This is a major new play and a significant concession as the pressure is mounting on both sides for it. In the meantime, I'm going to give you some other bombshell news. Guess why the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's plan, which is a $333 billion plan, did not include $300 a week in unemployment benefits, whereas the previous plan from the Senate Majority Leader did include $300. Do you want to know why? Because of the president. Yes, believe it or not, the president had a discussion with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell about what he was willing to sign, and he has indicated that he wanted to sign the McConnell plan. The question now is, why would the president, who initially wanted $1.9 trillion or more, he did say he wanted to do a larger bill than the Democrats before the election, now wants to do a smaller plan without unemployment benefits? Why? Because he probably, this is a probability, he probably wants to leave it to Joe Biden to work out a bigger stimulus down the road, because he's like, well, you know what, I'm going to sign something small. It's a probability. Now, I'll give you more information about this, including what Shelley Moore Capito said about the Senate Majority Leader's plan being a plan B. I'll talk to you more about the reporting specifically, which points out why the Senate Majority Leader decided not to include the $300 a week unemployment benefits. This was actually told to an NBC reporter by, guess who? By Senator John Thune, a prominent senator. So I'll give you all of this information in the next video, because we're putting together that information to present to you. But right now I want to give you the breaking news, which is that as the pressure is mounting for aid, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are now saying, hey, let's use that as, I quote, a basis for immediate bipartisan negotiations. Now, what they're trying to do is pressure Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Senate Republicans into agreeing for a $900 billion deal. And they should agree. You want to know why? Because almost $600 billion, to be specific, it's closer to $550 billion out of the $908 billion is essentially being repurposed from the CARES Act. It's money that essentially is, has been clawed back from the Federal Reserve by the United States Treasury. Keep in mind, it's not like, they can snap their fingers and do this. The president cannot just do an executive order and do this. This still needs to go through the House, go through the Senate. And by the way, the proposal of these, this framework, if you will, is called the COVID Emergency Relief Framework. I have done other videos about that on our channel. The proposal is 4 months of unemployment benefit extensions starting from December going through March, excuse me. So that would be 3 months going through March. So that is the proposal of the unemployment benefits extensions within the COVID emergency relief framework. This is now being pushed. And what is interesting again is that both House Speaker Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are calling on McConnell to enter into negotiations based on this bipartisan framework that was unveiled yesterday as a basis, as a framework for negotiations. In fact, here's what they wrote. The American people are currently living through the worst stretch of the pandemic. The United States is averaging over 1 million new cases a week. 20% of all patients now hospitalized in the United States have COVID-19, and the national death toll stands at a very sad 270,000 American souls. Many family budgets and small businesses are at their breaking point. Families all across the country are experiencing the unthinkable, unbearable losses of their loved ones, and many are falling into financial ruin because of the economic fallout of the pandemic. Economists are warning that the US economy will fall into a double-dip recession without additional federal relief from Congress. While we made a new offer to Leader McConnell and Leader McCarthy on Monday, in the past 48 hours, in the spirit of compromise, we believe the bipartisan framework introduced by senators yesterday should be used as the basis for immediate bipartisan negotiations. Of course, we and others will offer improvements, but the need to act is immediate, and we believe that with good faith negotiations, we could come to an agreement. Now, think about this for a second. House Speaker Pelosi said no to a $1.9 trillion offer from the White House. By the way, we will never know, in case you're thinking, oh, she should have accepted that. No. We will never know. We will never know if the Senate Republicans would have voted for that. And based on the reporting I have done, and I've done extensive reporting on this, you can check out my body of work. They probably would not have voted for that because they clearly said it was too much for them. So in case, you're thinking one-dimensionally and you're thinking, oh my God, House Speaker Pelosi turned down 1.9. It's not as simple as that. Things are never simple. There are two kinds of individuals. One who focus on what, when. And the second type of individual focuses on the why and focuses on the political opportunity. This is about political opportunities. The pre-election environment is different from the post-election environment. I believe that in this post-election environment, one side has basically said, well, we're not going to get what we wanted, so we might as well get this. And the other side is like, oh, I can stay more entrenched in my positions. And I do believe that they should. I'll go so far as to say that I believe they will come to an agreement. I've always said this on our channel. It's not a matter of if the second stimulus happens, it's a matter of when and how much. And I'm always going to be truthful to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lead you on. I'm not going to say second stimulus check approved. I'm going to give you the facts because I actually have enough confidence in you. I have a lot of respect for you, believe it or not, which is why I give you the facts, because I know you can handle it. If I wanted to not give you the facts and string you along, you'd know it. And that's why our community is growing so rapidly. If you're learning something new from this video, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. So let's get back to what House Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are saying. We believe the bipartisan framework introduced by senators yesterday should be used as the basis for immediate bipartisan negotiations. Of course, we and others will offer improvements, but the need to act is immediate, and we believe that with good faith negotiations, we could come to an agreement. With the imminent availability of the vaccine, it is important for there to be additional funding for distribution to take the vaccine to vaccination. The distribution effort will be led by the states, further increasing the need for funding for state and local governments, which, by the way, has been the number one priority for the Democrats. Guess what's been the number one priority for the Republicans? Liability protection. In light of the urgency of meeting the needs of the American people and the hope that the vaccine presents, it's time for Leader McConnell to sit down with the Democrats to finally begin a true bipartisan effort to meet the needs of the country. So, the Democrats have compromised for the time being. The question is, will the Senate Republicans, specifically Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, come to meet them? Given the fact that $550 billion out of the $908 billion is essentially repurposed money. I believe that this is going to be more digestible for many Senate Republicans. In fact, the proof is in the pudding. We have Senators John Thune, Senator Shelley Moore Capito actually say that they were in favor of this. And again, what I find very surprising, actually, I believe that most of our viewers will be like, oh, House Speaker Pelosi is compromising. I think the thing that is really game-changing here is the fact that there's a big shift in the president's position. And that is a thing that very few people are talking about. And, you know, when you look at a situation, most people get stuck in the trees, get stuck in the mud. The reason you come to my channel is I give you the big picture. I'm able to look at the forest through the trees. I think there's a big shift in the president's position. Also, there's a big shift in House Speaker Pelosi's position because, you know, they recognize the need for stimulus. The Senate Majority Leader seemed to be more entrenched in his position yesterday. What happens next, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You'll find a link to all of our resources in the description section below. I appreciate you watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you. Bye.